This is the Ben Herman Show.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Ben Herman Show. I've got a very special guest, and as a matter of fact, she's joining me all the way from Dubai. So it is 9 p.m. in Las Vegas right now, and it's 9 a.m. the next morning in Dubai. And her name is Tina Dahmen. How's it going, Tina?
Good morning, Mr. Ben. Very good. How are you?
I was going to say it's really good evening for me, but good morning for you.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. So what brought you to Dubai in the first place?
The network. I just
Network, huh? That's awesome.
Yeah, I just moved here 2 or 3 months ago, and I've spent the last decade, a little more than a decade in Bali. And I was just looking for something new, a new place. And yeah, I was actually ChatGPTing it. It's like put everything I want in my life into ChatGPT. It said, help me find a new place. And it came up with some solutions. And I went to different places. Barcelona was one of them. Dubai was one of them. Last year, several times to make sure I make the right decision. And then I really did not like Barcelona at all. And then Dubai.
Yeah.
Dubai was the winner.
Wow, that's incredible. And so it sounds like you're kind of a nomad entrepreneur that's just on the road and just likes to travel in different places.
Correct. Fully location independent. Yeah.
Well, help me understand, like, where did your entrepreneurial journey begin?
Very good question. I was actually working for Aldi back in the day in Germany. So I'm from Germany. There's a supermarket chain, Aldi. Maybe you've heard of it. And yeah.
I grew up in Germany, so
it's right. That's true.
Sure. Yeah.
So I was helping managing the store and all that. And I wanted to, level up. And I went into my boss's office in the morning and I said, hey, love my job, love the company, but I want to higher rank. What do you need to do? He's like, oh, you have internal company policies and all that. You have to have these certifications. And I didn't go to university or anything like that. I just had an apprenticeship and some other certifications in Germany, but not like a university degree. And I was like, that sucks. So then I'm going to quit and I'm going to go back to do that thing, what they needed. And it's like, oh my God, really, really? So I quit in the same day and I had 6 months buffer, 6 months time until that new year started. Went off to Australia to learn and improve my English, and I never returned.
Oh, wow. Gotcha.
That was it. That was literally it. So I met so many entrepreneurs on the road, and I saw so many possibilities and opportunities that I just started to build my business on the road, literally. So my first online shop I sold tours and trips. It was called Take a Trip with Tina, and I was a bit of a travel influencer back then, before the influencer thing was a thing. And yeah, that's how I got into the whole online business kind of world. And it was, of course, like the most amazing thing. Like today I can be here, tomorrow I'm in Vietnam, the day after I'm in Thailand. So, I'm not returning back to Aldi anymore, even though I love that company.
Gotcha. And it sounds like, that's a perfect fit with, your travel lifestyle to actually run a online kind of travel. Was it like a travel blog, or was it more of like a booking site?
It was more of a booking site. So when I went to Australia, I actually worked for a hostel and I sold trips for their travel desk. And then again, I was stuck in one place and I was like, but I want to go traveling everywhere. And it's like, I suggested them, can I not build my own online store? And they're like, yeah, why not? So I did that and I pulled their products into my website and then I kept selling them wherever I went. Like it wasn't a big business. When my first business, I had actually no idea what I was doing, a little bit. I sold a little bit. I learned everything about online marketing, SEO, all of that. And
awesome.
Later on, I built my own travel companies after that. So, but that was kind of like the first thing where I thought, what do I want in my life? Build a business around your life, not a life around your business. So
love that. And so help me understand, like, what were some of the biggest lessons that you learned from when you first got started to now that you feel like the listeners that are listening in right now could benefit from? Because, there's people who are newbies, there's people who are vets who are more experienced. Yep. And we learn various lessons along the journey across the various stages that we have to cross as entrepreneurs.
Wow. I was just thinking about that yesterday, actually.
Yep.
Number one, the compound effect is real.
Absolutely. Because
to this day, I still get now. So after this travel website thing, I built my own travel company, one in London and one in Bali. Mm-hmm. And I built this whole online presence around this luxury tour company in Bali. I was really good with online marketing and SEO. And to this day, and that I quit this company 6 years ago, to this day, I receive 3 to 4 inquiries per week through my website, and I'm just like, I was so fed up with it, I don't even want to hear about it, right? But every time I get it, I'm like, hey, damn, if I would have kept doing this, boom, that would be so successful.
Absolutely.
So really don't give up too early. Like, there will be hurdles along the way. You choose your battles for sure. You pick your problems. There is no business in the world that doesn't come with problems.
Absolutely.
Just learn how to navigate the problems and become really good at it. Don't close off. Don't run away. Don't think, oh my God, this is too hard, because it's just a lesson that's going to be presented by the universe or God, whatever you believe in, right? And it's for you to take it and learn it. And if you do it, you will level up. If you run away from it and you try something else, guess what?
Start at ground zero.
You'll be faced with the same thing. Right. You start at zero, and then you'll be faced with the same thing. And then the question is again, are you going to learn from it? Are you going to do it? Are you going to get through it?
It's kind of interesting, because I feel like what I tell people is entrepreneurship is the best like personal development program that you could ever be a part of, right? Because it forces you to become a better person, or otherwise you're not going to win in the game of business, right? But there's a parallel
100%.
when it comes to relationships, right? There's people who hop business to business or job opportunity to business opportunity, but there's people who hop relationship to relationship as well, right? Where it's like the second that it gets tough, they give up, right? Versus, I mean, there are times, don't get me wrong, there are times where like that relationship was never meant to work out. It's just a tough lesson. But then there's times where, like it is meant to work out. You just got to work through things. Right.
Yeah.
So it's just super interesting how there's so many parallels in entrepreneurship and just general life.
For sure. And you have to change. Like, when you go back home, I don't know how you feel about it. If you go back to your old circle of friends or your old environment where people know you as 9-to-5 girl from Aldi, for example, right? So, oh my God, you have changed so much and you're not the person anymore from before. Well, yeah, thank you. It's a compliment.
Absolutely.
You know what? You're still in the same thing like always, like the last 20 years. We are meant to change. We are meant to evolve. Like, it's not a bad thing. And people portray it often as like a bad thing. And that is mostly because they don't know how to put you in the box anymore. They knew you as this particular person doing this particular thing, but now you're doing this and it doesn't fit into their story anymore. So don't listen to people who haven't walked your path or don't have reached the goals you want to reach, right?
Absolutely.
Because that's also a bit mistake many people do, especially entrepreneur beginners. They then ask their parents for advice, or their sisters and brothers, or boyfriends or husbands and girlfriends and whatever, right? And these people want to keep you near them, by your side, by their side, right? And the likelihood that you stay there and, do what you've always done is little if you grow and expand and evolve and have new experiences and all of that. So really decide what is important for you and really, really pay attention who you share what with. Because everything that you hear, especially from people who are close to you, will impact you.
Absolutely. It's almost like a version of programming, right? That like, there's that saying that, you become the average of the 5 closest people in your life, right? That the things that you hear on a repetitive basis, right? Those thoughts those thoughts that really aren't serving you start sticking with you though, right? Which can be a negative 100%. Influence versus a good influence. Because if you are in the right circles, you're going to also be around good influences that can motivate you and help you level up as well.
100%. That goes for, like you said, the 5 people you hang out with, but also I believe the content you consume. Like, we are living in a world, like there's podcasts, YouTube channels, all the things, like all the content you consume will also impact you.
Absolutely.
Right. So if you say, oh, I want to start a business, but I don't have the circle of entrepreneurs around me, all of that, that's not a bad thing. Like, you can go and jump on Ben's podcast and listen to it and, listen to stories of entrepreneurs who've, started where you're at right now and have, been successful to whatever journey you want to take, or other YouTube channels, other mindset books. There's like so much content out there that can help you to become a better version of yourself and become successful in business if that's what you want.
Yeah. Well, Tina, I know that you're a fellow coach and mentor just like me, and you've got some clients as well. Based off the folks that you serve and that you've helped, what have you found is like the common thing that's like the challenge and the roadblock that they keep running into?
The mindset thing about, am I good enough to do this? Will this work out? What if it doesn't work out, right? What then do other people think of me? Like this kind of judgment from other people from outside. That is typically the most difficult thing to get people through. And to be honest, I think it's everyone's own responsibility to work through those mindset blocks, because we all grew up differently. We all heard different stories from parents and teachers and whatever when we were little. And that's why, the society teaches you to be on the safe side. That's why the society builds you. They try to build us as products. We are products to fit into the tax system, to be part of the system, to go work and do all of these things. So it's really tough and really hard for someone who's never been an entrepreneur, never been out there and taking all that risks and done all of these things. Really hard to switch that mindset around. But hey, we're not living in caves anymore. Like, if it doesn't work out, you're not going to starve to death. Like, what is literally the worst that can happen? At least you can say you've tried it, and chances are the first time you try it will not 100% work out. Most likely not, because that's just normal. You've never done something like that, and you can't expect to be perfect, to have the perfect outcome the first time you're launching a course or coaching program or an event or anything like that. So you just become so much better over time by just repeating it, by just taking the lessons. But you got to do it. Like, you can't sit there and think for the rest of your life, well, what if it doesn't work, and what will other people think about me? That's just not an option. It's just not an option if you want to do it.
And it happens since birth, right? I mean, like, when you first came out of the womb, it's not like you just learned and knew how to walk or how to run, right? And those first crawling steps, you stumbled and you figured it out over time, right? And then the first time that you jump behind a bicycle, right? You may have crashed, or you may have, skinned your knee. And so the challenging part about that is that, like, we have to be courageous to suck at something new. And it's embarrassing. It can hurt, right? And that's one of the reasons why I feel like the wiring in our brain is all about trying to protect ourselves, right? And so a lot of us have a hard time putting ourselves in an uncomfortable position, an uncomfortable spot. But that's where all the growth happens. That's why it's called growing pain.
Right. 100%. And you can't blame people who are thinking like that. I mean, I was thinking like that when I first started. I'm sure you too, because that's also what they teach you in the education system. We go to kindergarten, we go to school, and you get punished for making mistakes, right? And teachers are getting annoyed if you ask too many questions, all of that kind of stuff. So of course people are afraid to make mistakes. Like, it's just imprinted in our minds so much. But the good thing is you can change that mindset.
Absolutely.
So it's not your fault if you're out there and you're scared of the whole thing. Like, it's absolutely completely normal. You just have to take the first step. And it can feel like there's a big mountain to climb, but just focus on the first base camp. All you got to do is get to the first base camp. You don't have to think about the top right now. You can keep the top in mind as your North Star, because that's your why. That's why you want to do the thing, which will get you through the hurdles, right? Like, sit down with yourself and really maybe journal on it if that gives you clarity. Why do you want to do the thing? Maybe you want to be able to take care of your parents financially because they're retired and the retirement is not good in the country wherever you are, right? The money is not enough. Or somebody fell sick in your family, or you just want to be prepared for these kind of scenarios. Or you just want to simply travel the world and be here tomorrow and there the day after and whatever, right? Like, whatever your why is, there's always a deeper why. And typically, your biggest trauma is your biggest why.
Love that.
Because that gets people off their asses.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like there was some situation at some point in your life where you thought, damn, like where you had really deep pain. So sit with that, figure out what that was, and use it as your fuel. Like, trauma is a good thing if you make it a good thing. Like, use it as your fuel and your motivation to get out of the situation you're in right now.
Man, that is so great, Tina. Like, you just triggered kind of a memory of mine, because I asked myself, like, what is my big pain? And there was like massive pain right around 12 years old, when I was 12 years old as a young boy. And it was really between my dad and I, right? So it's like this estranged relationship. And I suffered a lot of pain at that point in time in my life, which I always give him credit for, because what it's done for me is it's given me this ability to have empathy and see people who are in pain. And that's actually the driving motivator now. Like, when people ask me, like, what's your purpose, Ben, right? It's really just to positively impact people's lives, in as many people's lives as I can in a positive way before I pass away from this earth, right? It all comes from that phase in my life, the biggest pain, like you mentioned. It's interesting that you mentioned that. Yeah. I don't mean to get super deep, but what is your purpose?
Oh, That's fine. We can go deeper.
I just didn't know, you
Don't
know,
need to get
if
super
you,
deep, but
maybe
we can
not
go a
talk about
little
your
bit deep.
pain. If you want to, you can, but like, what's the purpose, I guess?
No, that's fine. It's totally cool. I talk about it in my emails and all
Oh,
that too.
nice.
It's independence. Like,
Mm,
I believe everyone should be independent, and that comes to location and, most importantly, financially.
yeah.
Like, you should not be codependent by parent, by a partner, because that just messes up the whole vibe in any relationship. Here we go back full circle to the
Hmm. Hmm.
relationships, right? Like, let's say you both bringing money to the table. And I had so many friends who were back in the day specifically, or you meet people all the time, right? Like, they're just with some dude because he can provide for her, but actually they don't love each other,
Mm.
or she doesn't love him, or he doesn't love her,
Yeah, yeah,
vice
yeah.
versa
Yeah.
also, right? Like, men are sometimes with women because they can
Yeah,
provide,
absolutely.
just a bit of a effed up role. So if you that guy, go check yourself
Yeah.
anyway. But yeah, back to the point. Like, you shouldn't be codependent from anyone, because if you, let's say you bring both money to the table, you can just really focus on what is important, become a better partner, become a better version of yourself, right? Focus on that. Focus on becoming a better person to the people around yourself, and not focus on the wrong reasons, like, hey, can this person pay my bills?
Yeah. Gotcha. So
Yeah.
independence is like your main reason, which makes a ton of sense of
Oh,
like
100%.
you traveling from place to place. You have nothing holding you back, right? It's all about freedom and independence for you. So that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's shift some gears and talk about entrepreneurs that are a little more experienced. So we talked about kind of like the newbie and the more greener or fresher entrepreneur. It's all about not giving up, right? And changing your
Yeah.
mindset that like every hurdle is not meant to stop you. It's actually to help you grow, right? To shift that context. But what about the
Correct.
more mature entrepreneur? They actually have proven to themselves what they're capable of. They've already achieved a certain level of success, but they're just overwhelmed with craziness because success brings craziness and chaos, right? Do you have some of those types of
Sure.
clients? And like, what do you feel, or based off pattern recognition, what would you say is like
Oh,
the
yeah.
common roadblock or the challenge that they're facing in that phase of business?
Oh, 100%. I have clients like that, and I love them. They're my favorites because it is so easy to help them. It's so much easier to help them because
Hmm.
they already had their successes, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
mindset piece is not there anymore. But the most common thing I find is like they're so passionate about the thing that they have a bit of an
Mm,
ADHD thing going on. Oh, I want to launch this week. Then the week after, I want to launch this, and I want to do this and this and this. They try to jump, and there's so much mess, and nothing is automated, and nothing is in systems really. And it takes just a little bit of tweaking and refining or implementing different sequences or promotion material that can then be automated and set on evergreen so that they can be even more successful, work less, and be less stressed. So the most common dominator is that mess, not having systems in place and being overly passionate about the thing and having a
absolutely.
bit of an
I would
ADHD
say
thing, a
focus
focus problem
problem, but
going on.
probably would you say also a little bit of control freakness, like where they have a hard time letting go of control. They're like they want to do everything because they feel like, man, I am the only one who can do it the best way possible. So instead of delegating it to a staff or, like you said, setting up automations, they don't trust the technology and they're like, I don't know if I want to do that. I know that I can write the email the best way, or I can respond to a customer's text message the best way versus letting AI take over. Right.
Oh, right. I see. But they could still write the email themselves if that's, what's holding them back. But the email will go
All
out
right.
all the time, ever on evergreen mode, right? Um, Outsourcing, I would say, like, handing off tasks to team members, or even like hiring your first VAs and all of that, is probably still the stage between the
Mhm.
bit more successful person and the one who's just beginning. Because the bit more successful people already got that. Like, hey, I can't do everything. Like, you just can't. Like, if you want to grow and build, yeah, you can build your specifically coaching and online business up to like
Mhm.
300K per year organically without people and ads, but you
Yeah.
can't scale behind that because of set reason. You just can't do it all, and you just also don't want to burn out. And if you spread yourself too thin, also the quality of your work suffers, and that's just also not scalable. Like, you want people to talk about how epic your products are, and referrals and all of that, and none of that is possible if you try to do it on your own. And yes, it is true,
Mhm.
nobody will do it as good as you will do it, because you're the one who built the thing. You're the one who cares the most about the thing, right? Unless, I mean, it depends actually. So if you have for example, in a coaching business, you can scale your coaching business and don't be the only coach,
Absolutely.
and then bring on a copywriter coach, or bring on, or maybe not so much anymore because now there's AI, but a mindset coach or other coaches who specialize on one particular thing. Then your whole organization becomes so much
You
more
can't.
valuable,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you can't be the
Yeah.
best in everything, right? You just can't. Like, you're also serving your people. You're just creating so much better products if you bring on more people who are more knowledgeable than you in one particular high income skill, right? Like, all of these skills are high income skills, like copywriting, sales, all of that. And yeah, it's maybe also a bit of an ego thing. Yeah, maybe you are not the best person to write your own emails. Right? Yeah, you can use not ChatGPT is probably not the best, but some modified versions of AI tools that are actually prompt engineered properly in the back end that can then give you better output. You could replace costs for copywriters and maybe the headache to manage a copywriting team and all of that now, using AI tools. Great. Sales, yes. And, we have now voice AI. You can call
Yeah.
people. Well, the AI bot can call people and
No,
all of
not
that.
not just yet.
We're not there just yet
Yeah.
that they can, hold like a full
I mean, just
presentation. But who knows? Soon we
the
will be there.
speed of this technology, though,
So,
for sure, it's probably going to get there in the next year or two.
yeah. What do you think? How will people take it though? Like, if you receive a call and you can tell there is an AI voice
Yeah, I don't
on the
know.
other
Like,
side, how do you feel about
currently
it?
we're already testing out just like the inbound AI, phone agent, and you can tell can tell that it's AI right off the bat, just by looking at the transcripts and listening to the recordings. But they're okay with navigating it. I just don't know when it comes to sales. Like, there's just a human tonality and pacing that comes with sales that, like, AI would have to inject that, right?
Yeah.
So I've been messing around with the phone AI agent, where there's inbound calls coming in for customer support or something like that. And just based off reading the transcripts of those conversations, I can see that a lot of people can tell that it's AI right off the bat, but they still choose to interact with it, right? Which is really cool. I'm wondering what's going to happen with, if AI can inject the actual human element of pausing the ums and ahs. Because in sales, it's more about pacing. It's about actually not sounding perfectly scripted. I mean, the whole part of great sales is actually sounding the opposite of scripted, right? Which AI sounds a little too perfect. So I'm wondering if, like, this technology can actually add some of the imperfections that us humans have to help, quote unquote, for lack of a better term, fool people into thinking that they're interacting with a human instead of an AI. So we know that the text is already there. I mean, when it comes to text messages and DMs, like, it's hard to decipher if you're talking to a human or AI nowadays. But I think the voice is still going to take some time.
It's incredible. I think while we're talking about it, actually, a sales conversation should be. So the big misconception out there is sales is pushy, sales is sleazy, all of that. I don't believe in that. I believe when people come on a sales call, or I call it strategy call, that you should be there as the salesperson or person who sells a product, whatever you want to label yourself. You should be there to help that person to make the right decision for themselves. Like, is the product an actual fit? And if not, maybe you have another product that is a better fit, right? And I think if I would be the buyer and I would be speaking to an AI, I think maybe the AI agent would be able to identify my pain points better and help me think through the whole scenario, maybe even better than a human, and help me make a better decision than any human.
Oh, interesting. I like that. Yeah. I mean, only time will tell, right?
Time will tell. Let's see.
Only time will tell. And I think I have a feeling that you and I are going to be at the forefront of using this technology and testing it out on our prospects to see if it can convert sales. But also, again, like you said, I believe in the same thing. I believe it's not about convincing, it's about serving, right? So sales is less about trying to push your products onto people or services onto people. It's about actually serving the person and having their best interest in mind, which means sometimes you may not have anything to offer them, and that's okay. And you can end that conversation and try to maybe even refer them to a competitor that might have a solution that just fits better with that prospect, right?
Right.
If you understand sales, right, I'm assuming you do, you also understand about the law of averages that, like, for, a conversion rate is a conversion rate. So,
right.
So we know for X amount of people that say no, there will be X amount of people on a fairly predictable scale that will say yes, right?
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, help me understand, like, how could business owners automate their life better? Because you had mentioned that earlier, how you're saying, like, they need to reduce chaos and get more focused, right? One of those ways to get more focused and reduce chaos is by creating automations. What kind of
Yeah.
automations should people think around building first if they don't
Good
have any
question.
automations really?
Yeah.
Place?
Which automation to build first? I think it really depends on what business you're running. But a general rule of thumb, anything that you do more than once should be automated. Anything that you touch more than once should be automated. You should not be doing it twice, and you also shouldn't be outsourcing it to a human.
So sending invoices, for instance, right, would be
Oh, yeah.
a thing you should definitely automate.
Anything like sending invoices, making appointments, sending reminder emails or SMS or WhatsApp messages to remind people to show up. Anything like if somebody watches your webinar, a software could detect how much percentage did that person watch, pick up on, hey, percentage 21, and just before 21, you're going to talk about secret number 2, 3, or 4, and then you can tailor your email around that and to get them back to finish the webinar, for example. Anything like that. Like I have almost everything automated in my business. Like I wouldn't be able to run my business the way I do if I wouldn't have it automated. And people leave a lot of money on the table by not having systems in place, or just even like, it doesn't have to be complicated, even like a simple nurture email sequence in the background. Like people spend so much time and money in the forefront to collect leads, to build their email list, but most of the people collect them and then what? They're sitting in the system and nothing happens after that. Like, hey, not all the people are ready to buy it right now. And then they're like, oh my God, I collected this many leads. They saw my landing page. They saw my offer, but nobody bought, or maybe one person bought. That, yeah, newsflash, that's the reality. You got to put a little bit more effort in and create your evergreen. So for those who are not familiar with the term, evergreen just means that you create the content once and it constantly runs on autopilot in the background the minute someone hits, signs up for your freebie or webinar, whatever. And I think that's the most important one, to keep nurturing the people so that whenever and it doesn't have to be like, it shouldn't be just promotional emails, right? Like nurture your people, increase the know, like, and trust factor in your content. Because if you, for example, run a business model where you take sales calls, you want to close on the call. You don't want to sell on the call. What you want to do is sell via your content before the people come on the call. What does that mean?
So I want to pause you right there for a sec, because like you're about to, like make people's brains explode right now. One is I could just tell everyone's like leaning in right now, because you just mentioned you're leaving a lot of money on the table and people are like, wait, tell me more. Right. The second thing is then you had mentioned like the saying goes, the money is in the follow-up. Right. And now you're about to get to something really great, which is how do you follow up with these prospects to actually capture the money that you're leaving on the table?
For example, one of my clients last week, 2 weeks ago, we just simply implemented a simple marketing strategy, a few emails, a few SMS and WhatsApps, because the more touch points you have with people, the better, the more you increase the know, like, and trust factor. It's like you're taking a girl on a date. If you take her on a date to 3 different places in one day, you feel like you know each other so much better than as if you would be sitting in one location. Same in marketing, guys. If you send an SMS and a WhatsApp and an email, and then you pop up in Messenger and then in Instagram, people think like, oh my God, she's everywhere. I actually know her. Like they feel like more connected to you, right? So make sure you have these things in place and follow up. Just send email campaigns. Like back to the point, 2 weeks ago, we sent a simple campaign. My client made to 100 people. 60 people bought, which equaled to $15,000, and it was just a low ticket offer of $200.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And she is an experienced entrepreneur. She's a 7-figure entrepreneur. Before I met her, she is one of those who didn't have the systems in place. She has an audience, she has the product, she just doesn't know how to make more out of it. And now we're just doing one campaign after the other and after the other. Yesterday, she texted me. She got 12 calls from the new campaign we implemented last week, 12 calls. She took 4 so far. 3 bought low ticket up to $2K and 1 bought a $15K offer. That's what I
Wow.
mean. Like if she wouldn't have
Isn't
implemented
crazy.
those
Yeah.
simple things, and it was not that hard to implement a few emails,
Yeah.
that money
Yeah.
wouldn't have hit her accounts. Right? Like
Absolutely.
some people
Absolutely.
get really stressed about, oh, I don't have a big audience and I need to collect more leads and I need to spend money on ads. No, you don't actually. Maybe go and nurture the people you have and see what you can do with that first. Right?
Mm,
Like there is so
yeah.
much juice you can squeeze out of your list. Like, and it was only 100 people from a bigger list. We tested this first with 100 people and 60% bought. Can you imagine that?
That's amazing. Yeah. It's all because of follow up, right? And I think
Follow
another
up,
pro tip is
reminding.
that
And
like,
yeah. And I spoke to one of my signing new client yesterday and he's like, oh, my launch flopped. And I said, what did you do? I sent 2 emails and I did a few TikTok videos and all of that. Yeah, 2 emails. People, 2 emails. Like you send at least for 6 weeks emails every day to have a successful launch, right? Like it's
mhm,
not
mhm.
about 2 emails. Like people need to be reminded. People need to be made aware of the product. They need to told stories. Stories sell, facts tell, right? Like everyone remembers a good story. Like really put a little effort into the content you put into your emails, and then it's just repetition. Follow up, follow
Absolutely.
up. Hey, 4 hours left. Removing bonuses, all of that kind of stuff. People need to
Yeah.
be nudged all the time. Follow up, follow up.
Yeah.
The fortune is in the follow up. I can't stress this enough. Back to the compound effect.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I signed another client who was on my email list for 2 years.
Mm,
Okay. And I've been running challenges and events and all of that for like 5 or 6 years. But she came
yeah.
in 2 years ago through one of those challenges, which doesn't mean back then the challenge was a flop. No, it was not. Because eventually she bought anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't give up. Like honestly, like all this it takes time and it's amazing when you just see the bigger picture. Like you look back and track everything. Like that's why it's important to know. Tag the people. Where did
Yeah.
they come in from? What did they download? What did they watch? What events did they attend? What is their journey? You can, in some softwares, you can see it exactly, the activity. What did they do?
Absolutely.
And it's so important.
It reminds me of what Hermosi said, which is some people will never make the big money because they can't give up the quick money, right? Some people are, so let me say that again. So some people will never make the
Yeah.
big money because they're not willing to give up the quick money. They're constantly wanting to just get the, return on investment within the first 30 days
Yeah.
versus like yourself, 2 years. That like
Right.
you're investing in a relationship, you're building and nurturing that relationship to a point where they know, like, and trust you enough to feel
Yeah.
safe to hand you their credit card, right?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
And I'd say also, pro tip in regards to follow-ups is just like with good sales, good sales process handles objections before you even make the offer, right? So same goes like once you make the offer, the follow-up emails and correspondence should really be about handling objections, but like what Tina mentioned, in a way of storytelling, adding sense of urgency or scarcity into those as well to help nudge people, to motivate them to make a choice that they ultimately want to make for themselves anyways. But we're all really scared to make a mistake, and that's the reason why we procrastinate, is because we're scared to make the wrong decision, right? So it's
Yeah.
not manipulation, it's actually persuasion, in a sense that like you're inspiring a person or motivating a person to make a decision that they want to make for themselves already, but
Yeah.
they just are scared because they don't want to make a mistake on accident. That's what it comes down to.
100%. You just help them
Yeah.
see the thing from a different perspective because you have the experience and the perspective and the results and the clients and all of that. You just put like a pair of glasses on their nose. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
look through that. This is how you can see it, and then paint the picture.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love for you to give me your perspective of what you feel like, with AI coming in now, right? Like I'm still wrestling with this a little bit about automations in AI, because like it's almost like AI is starting to replace automations a little bit. What's your perception on this?
Yeah. So the other day, I had conversation AI turned on, meaning somebody sends you an SMS and then instead of me the next morning checking my thing and replying, the bot can reply.
It replied.
And I just set that up for a demo and I forgot to turn it off. So it was still turned on. And I see this whole conversation with this dude. It's like, wow, that's actually pretty good. I actually would have said it like that. And it was actually pretty decent. So
That's awesome.
it wasn't perfect. There were quite a few things where it's like, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't need to mention my company name right now and all of these things, but this is how you can train the AI and, click the thumbs down and say, hey, no, say this thing next time someone asks this or whatever. But it was pretty epic. It's like, dude, and he didn't realize it was AI. He literally thought it was me. And it's like, wow, epic. And it was quite a bit of an exchange of conversation. And now I know everything about this guy in terms of business and all that. And it's like, yeah, interesting. And that happened while I was sleeping. So that was good about conversations and about appointment setting also. I think that's incredible. Any business, like if you set appointments, if you run events, if you, whatever you're doing, wherever you set appointments, have your appointment AI bot on your website or as a responder on your WhatsApp chat or however you communicate with cold leads that come from outside that find you through Google Ads or just SEO or whatever, have it turned on because you wake up in the morning and appointments will be booked. Like that's just incredible. Like you didn't need an appointment setter for that. You didn't need to pay anyone. You didn't need to teach anyone over and over again. You didn't need to deal with human fatigue or human emotions. People come to work, can't be bothered to do all of that. Need to motivation, stand-up meetings in the morning, all that kind of crap. It's like, no, implement your AI appointment setter.
Yeah. So where do you stand on that now? Because I'm assuming you probably already have all these automations built for appointment setting, for instance, right? Or, follow-ups. Conversations that are coming in, like new leads and nurturing campaigns on that. And now you have this AI bot that can essentially replace all those automations. Like, are you there of like wanting to replace it with AI, or are you still leaning on the automations for now?
I'm in the middle of a launch for a new product. So that's why I'm responding to all my messages, like specific messages, specific campaigns, because it's a new product, new marketing material, all of that. But yeah, the basics are fully automated. Like there's just no point in me needing to be there. Like really not.
But are you using AI as well? Or is it just automations? Like you wrote these automated messages to go out?
Both.
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
So AI conversation can just detect whatever the person said on the other end. What is their problem? And then the bot will just like craft the message, the next reply message according to what they said. So as if they would speak to a salesperson on the other end.
Gotcha.
So I didn't craft those messages. It's like the bot is so smart. Like the AI is so smart to just understand. And that may be even better than, not that I would do it because of course, come on, I'm just joking. But at some point it will be like, depending on how much you train it, and you can upload your own sales script and all of these kind of things also to train the bot. So it's better than hiring people.
Absolutely. Like, because it doesn't have sick days, right? Like you said, it doesn't have like,
amazing
emotional support days or down days or anything like that.
Yeah. And it's not just for appointments, also for content, right? Like we code a lot of like separate little things that we can give our students that will help them to create the content much faster or do the research much faster. It's not like, go to ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is just the engine behind everything, right? Like the average person doesn't know how to prompt engineer. Like to get a really great response from ChatGPT, you need to know how to prompt engineer, how to talk to that bot, this and that and tralala. So we just provide like little tools where that can help them to craft their marketing message and all of that. So it's not just for us running the business, but also for the students to produce the content that they need in order to have a successful launch, for example.
Love that. Now, if people were interested in getting some help from you on like, getting more involved with AI and learning about how to set up automations for their business, where should they go?
Just find me on social media or tinadahmen.com basically. And there's loads of different free resources. You can check them out, videos and PDFs and all that, which will, pick whatever suits your current situation and see what helps you out. And if you learn anything from it and you want help, you can just book a call and we can have a quick chat. It will be me, not an AI agent.
That's good to actually preface that. That's awesome. Well, we'll definitely make sure to leave Tina's information in the show notes of this episode. Tina, it's been such an awesome time to just talk with you, and thank you so much again for making the time. And again, it's kind of a trip for me because like I'm looking, those of you that are watching the video version of this podcast, like you can tell it's totally daytime over there, and it's like it's about to be 10 o'clock at night here, so it's a little trippy to see that.
Yeah, thank you so much for making the time so late to host me. I really appreciate that.
Of course. Yeah, definitely.